Hello everyone, I'm excited to present CMless. It's our portfolio project for the backend specialization in ALX. So this is the team. I'm Ahmed Saeed and I have Adham Masam with me on this project. So what is the inspiration behind the project? We want to create the simplest and most extendable and customizable CMS possible. We want to design it to allow developers to have a powerful base for building their CMS while offering them flexibility and ease of customization. So what is a CMS? A CMS is a content management system. It's a software that helps users create, modify, and manage content for a website or a mobile application without the need for a technical knowledge or a technical background. So if you are working on a website or a mobile application and you want to allow the content writers or the content managers on your team to easily create and manage the content, you would use a CMS to build like an admin dashboard, which will allow them to write content easily without the need for any technical backgrounds or knowledge in how to technically manage a website or an application. So these are the learning objectives. We obviously need to gain a lot of experience in developing a fully fledged CMS because designing as the simplest CMS and having it extendable and customizable is going to be a hard task. Uh, we also need to understand the user experience or the UX design because at the end of the day, a CMS offers a dashboard. If the user is going to have a poor experience with this dashboard, then we clearly didn't succeed in developing a CMS. So we really need to understand and learn a lot about user experience in order to enhance the experience of the dashboard for the user. We also need to enhance our proficiency in back-end and front-end technologies. So a CMS is designed to work with multiple scenarios and multiple projects. It needs to be dynamic and automatically adapt with the situation or the scenario. So that's a really hard task to do or to achieve in the backend. So we need to learn a lot and understand the development of such complex systems. We also need to practice effective project management and collaboration within a team because as I believe we only have about 3 weeks to develop this project. So we need to effectively manage our timeline, and we also need to divide the project into multiple milestones. We have already done that, and we have identified the first milestone, which is the console. So more on that later in the presentation. Now let's move into the technology stack, and let's focus at the back end. In order to develop a CMS, we first need to understand an important aspect in the CMS. So when I say that we are going to create a resource or that we are going to create something in the CMS, I mean that the CMS has to automatically create and update the API for the new resource and the schema in the database. So when the content manager creates a new article, for example, the API should be updated in order to serve the article with the correct data, and the database needs to be updated in order to correctly store the data of the article in the database. So in order to achieve this functionality, we landed on these technologies. So we are going to use Node.js as a runtime environment for our backend. We are going to also use Express.js as our API framework. And finally, we are going to connect our backend with a MongoDB. Ideally, in a CMS, you should be able to use multiple or different types of databases. So a MongoDB is a NoSQL database, but maybe in the future we will update the project and extend it to support SQL databases and other types of databases. So that's for the backend. When it comes to the front end, since this is a project for a backend specialization, and none of the team members have uh, a good experience with front end, and we don't have any front end engineers on the team, we decided to use Tableau. Tableau is an amazing framework that have a lot of pre-built components ready to use, and it's used a lot in developing um, dashboards, and that's exactly what we want to develop in a CMS. So we decided to use Tableau for our front end. It's going to help us a lot. And obviously, we are going to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as our technologies. So that's it for our technology stack. Now, Adham Assam will continue on identifying challenges.
So, as we are getting into this project, we have found that there are a couple of challenges that we are gonna face as we go on in this project. So, our identified challenges, one of them is implementing robust authentication and authorizations mechanisms to keep everything secure and balanced. We are also defined another challenge, which is ensuring scalability and performance under varying loads, so that the project doesn't get pressured under various loads. And then we also, one of our challenges is designing an intuitive user interface for easy content management. We want it to be accessible for everyone. We also, one of our challenges that we found is integrating and managing third-party services securely. After defining our challenges, we managed to identify how our development timeline will go so that everything will be organized. One of the first steps in our timeline is planning. We have to know exactly how we are going to do our project and how we are going to implement it. We have to define clear project objectives and goals. We have to identify the necessary skills and knowledge required to successfully and fully execute the project without any problems. The second step will be execution. In the second step in timeline will be execution. We will have to continuously assess and document the various progressions of our project, and we will have to evaluate every step and every function and every component in order to assure that it is integrating properly. We also have to have an iterative process of feedback loops, so that we keep checking on the whole project as a system, each component on its own, each function on its own, and them working together in order to reach our goal and successfully execute what we want to. The third step in our timeline, it's going to be parallel with planning and execution. We will meet continuously every 2 days. And like an official meeting, we will have clear and open communication, share the regular share information and updates and feedbacks of our work and what we have done so far. So finally, this is our Trello dashboard, and we have a couple of assigned tasks that we are gonna get into more in our planning phase. So finally, thank you for joining us.